2020 was a huge year for multiplayer games and a lot of those came right out of nowhere. Some of those games raked in a good amount of moolah and reputation to be the best for years to come, for those to be remembered. So this is Fenris Wolf on behalf of Gamer Overlord, and today we are going to discuss top 5 multiplayer games of 2020. Before watching further, do have a look at other videos and brief us about more suggestions, and also do like and subscribe and click that bell icon for more Overlord countdown episodes. So making myself and everything else clear, let's get started. Starting at number 5 is Among Us. It may have originally come out in 2018, but Among Us took 2020 by storm and is deserving of that spotlight. Inner Sloth had made the tense multiplayer fun of in-person cloak and dagger games Mafia and Werewolf work on PC, mobile and consoles with a flourish. I have had great times with slaying, dying and sleuthing my way through its charming sci-fi world, which got me wondering why it took so long for this sort of game to catch on. The premise of Among Us is simple enough that just about anyone can pick it up quickly. 8 crew members dash around a claustrophobic cartoon spaceship to finish simple tasks that fill up a shared progress bar. But among them are 2 hidden imposters with the goal of secretly murdering everyone until they equal or outnumber the crew and claim victory. And yet, like so many excellent multiplayer games, it's very tricky to master because it's fooling real people and not the gaming AI. You can't even fall back on the same successful strategies too often or your opponents will catch on, so sometimes you have to mix things up and even go to the extent of acting illogically to keep them guessing. But among them are 2 hidden imposters with the goal of secretly murdering everyone until they equal or outnumber the crew and claim victory. And yet, like so many excellent multiplayer games, it's very tricky to master because it's fooling real people and not the gaming AI. You can't even fall back on the same successful strategies too often or your opponents will catch on, so sometimes you have to mix things up and even go to the extent of acting illogically to keep them guessing. The tasks the crew will be rushing to complete present a good variety of tiny mini games, like from finishing a simple maze to connecting colored wires. Most of them will test memory or hand-eye coordination in a way that requires you to keep your cool when you know there are murders running around you. Among Us also became a platform for content creators to make videos on, as there can be various elements that can be shown regarding its gameplay and in-game strategies, which is a great breakout hit for the genre and it's a great first impression. At number 4 is Star Wars Squadrons. Squadrons had a very exciting multiplayer beyond more unexpected reasons. The accessible and nuanced flight controls and systems management still stand strong ground, but facing off against human pilots shows just how much room there is for making tricky maneuvers around asteroids or through tight corridors. Squadrons has just 2 modes, that is the dogfights, which is straight up 5 vs 5 where you race to 30 kills, and fleet battles, which gives each squad a large capital ship that must be dismantled and destroyed by the opposing team through a starship tug of war. The fun about this game, despite it having just 2 modes, is the smooth mechanics. Hardly would you play a starship game this smooth and subtle. Some of these mechanics are maneuvered through throttle control, which lets you pull off exciting moves which feel straight out of a Star Wars movie. Star Wars Squadrons in nutshell has very addictive 5 vs 5 dogfights, which became a huge hit this year and topped the charts close to a month, which makes it earn a spot in this list. At number 3 is Fall Guys, which is a game that is just basically a rip-off version of Takeshi's Castle, where you run into obstacle course along with a bunch of other people. You have to get to the end of the obstacle course as other people are also trying to do so, and you can kind of sabotage other people but not to a huge extent, and yeah, it can be a kind of hard, but once you get good at it through practice, it becomes more and more interesting. You can't actually get frustrated with the game because you got to respond real quick, and losing also not necessarily pisses you off. Instead, you feel like playing more and more with a ton of guys, and it's incredible fun. Fall Guys oozes the aesthetics of a televised game show with bright, colorful figures bouncing around brightly while bubbly music plays in the background. It is a unique battle royale game with a friendly, non-violent design and addictive gameplay that relies entirely on a healthy online community playing, even safe for kids, and its early popularity is a great sign for long-term players. And at number 2 is Riot Games' Valorant. Now this was a game that you looked at it and you were like, it is very much a rip-off version of Overwatch. Well, that turned out to be untrue, and this is one hell of a competitive shooter. It is both team-based and hero-based, just like Overwatch, but the game itself is far more along the lines of the Counter-Strike games. So the main objective of the game is that when you are in offense, you are going into the enemy territory to plant a spike, which basically is a bomb, and when you are on defense, you are trying to stop the other team from doing so. Powers, and there are a lot of playstyles that are possible within this game. I played the hell out of Valorant during the lockdown period, and by just talking about it right now, it is making me itch to play it again. Another bright aspect of Valorant is that you don't need a beefy system to play well. You can get much needed FPS in a normal 4GB RAM, Intel or Ryzen Vega graphics settings, but if you want to be an FPS overlord, then possibly a high-end PC can run the game in mind-boggling high FPS and smoothness. Valorant currently has around 3.5 to 4 million active players, making it one of the most surprise hits of 2020. Coming at number 1 is Call of Duty Warzone. Yeah, once again I have to say that there are certain specific reasons why Warzone is number 1 in this list. It is full of smart conveniences that is making it my circle-shrinking murder fest of choice. There are no reasons for me not to game this brilliant battle royale. This sets you going within 20 minutes of fiddling with weapons, ammo and attachments in and out. More things to add focus includes firefights, and up close the guerrilla warfare in this game is top class, fit enough for a battle royale that we longed for a while. For a series built on fragility and super short time to kill, Warzone successfully splits the difference between Call of Duty and Battlefield games. Firefights feel closest to Apex Legends, though its higher lethality is more in line with my shooter preferences. And there is something very unique about Warzone. It's that when a Warzone match is down to its 5 squads in a small circle with no cover, everyone starts firing off their airstrikes from opposite corners, hoping to get lucky kills. That can also play as a spoil sport at times, working your way hard and then boom, lucky kill for the opponent. There are two basic perspectives to play Call of Duty Warzone, that is the brighter perspective and the lighter perspective. Warzone is serious business as a multiplayer, like the game has badass huge updates with a lot of in-game purchases to show off. Therefore you should be totally committed if you are playing this gem, which made 2020 a bit more lighter. On the lighter perspective, Warzone is a fun-filled multiplayer that anyone can try and challenge and imbibe Call of Duty based skills and use them in other shooters. It's that adaptive. That's it from the video, guys. We do request you to stay tuned for more such videos, and we hope more badass multiplayer games comes this year. See you in the next one.